evaluating exponential functions, you are making use of the laws of exponents. Okay? Well, everything, whatever you solve, you should not forget this. Sabi niya. Okay? The rule says a raised to m times a raised to n. When you have the same base, you're going to add the exponents. Okay? So if you have 2 raised to 3 multiplied to 2 raised to 2, then that must be 2 raised to 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. Then your answer must be, no? 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8, and 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4. Then your answer must be 32. Okay? Second rule, bakit iba yung pagkakasulat ko? A raised to m raised to n. Your teacher might as well introduce to you no different variable. However, magkakaiba lang sila class ng tinutukoy. No? I'm just using variable a, and so m and n. Kopyahin ang base, and then ang gagawin natin sa exponents m and n, going to get the product of the exponents, m times n. Okay? That is why, if, for example, you are asked to evaluate 1/2 raised to 3, and then you're going to raise that again into 4. So your answer must be 1/2 raised to 12. Okay? Next, a raised to m over a raised to n. Then you're going to subtract the exponents. That is why, if you're going to simplify x raised to 5 divided by x raised to 2, then that must be x raised to 5 minus 2 x cubed. Okay? Next, we have the negative exponent rule. So itong negative exponent rule class, ito yung madalas na hindi aware ang karamihan. Okay? And when the exponent is negative, the number doesn't mean it's negative. So it is still a positive number. However, it will become a fraction. And so, to express a raised to negative m into another form, that becomes 1 over a raised to m. And obserbahan natin yung nangyayari sa place ng m, no? Na from a raised to negative m naging 1 over a raised to m, which means that if you are given a number and you are asked to rewrite 3 raised to negative 2, ibig sabihin nito, that will become 1 over 3. And then this negative 2, turn that into positive 2. So 1 over 3 raised to 2, that is equal to 1 over 9. Okay? So, minsan ito kasi si negative integral exponent or negative exponent rule ang nakakalimutan eh. Another example to that is, if we're going to rewrite 2 raised to negative 1, that must be 1 over 2 raised to 1 must be 1/2. Meaning to say, class, that kung galing ka naman dito at i-rewrite mo sa ganitong form, then this must be done. So for example, you're going to rewrite 1 over 9 such that the base is 9 or the base is 3. So, makatandaan mo na itong 9 ay naka-raise lang sa 1, kaya nga siya 9. So get that 9, turn that as a base, and that exponent 1, turn that into negative 1. So 1 over 9 is equal to 9 raised to negative 1. Also, if 9 can be rewritten into 3 raised to 2, pwede mo siyang isulat into 3 raised to 2. Therefore, you will have a base 3, and then from 2, turn that into negative 2. So 1 over 9, therefore, is also equal to 1 over 3 raised to 2. And because your exponent now is 2, and your base is 3, so 3 is written here, and your exponent is negative 2. Okay? So, medyo klaro ba yun? So what if you are going to add, okay, I'll give you a simple task. So huwag kayong gumamit ng calculator. Okay? Paano kapag inutusan ka to simplify this? What is 2 raised to negative 1 plus 2 raised to negative 1? What do you think is the answer? May you please comment your answer in just 5 seconds? May I know? Without using your calculator? Hmm? Okay, so I'm now visiting the comment section. I can see some of your comments now. I hope you are not using calculator kasi our main goal here is to apply the rules. Okay, correct. The frequent answer is 1, and that is the answer we're looking for. And how do we get that? You're being guided by the negative exponent rule. If you see this negative 1, that becomes 1. Automatic na 1 ang numerator. Tapos yung exponent base na 2, kopihin mo. At itong negative 1 magiging positive 1. So 1 over 2. That becomes 1 over 2. Pareho sila. So 1 over 2, 1 half plus 1 half is 1. The answer must be 1. Okay. Pero paano naman kapag instead of rewriting that into pagbalik naman natin, paano naman kapag nakakita ka ng ganito? 1 half raised to negative 1. Ano ang katumbas ni 1 half raised to negative 1? Okay, let me guide you. Dahil si 1 half ay pwede mong i-rewrite into using the rule of negative exponent, this becomes negative 1 half, right? And so, change 1 half into 2 raised to negative 1, and then raise it again to negative 1. And according to the rule of the power of power, a raised to m raised to n is equal to a raised to mn. So negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So 2. The answer is 2. Sige, mag-move pa tayo. Meron pa tayong mga rules. Anyway, mamaya dadaanan naman natin lahat ng rules na yan as we move. A raised to m over n, the fractional exponent rule, is equal to a radical number. The denominator of the exponent m over n becomes the index of the radical, and the base a becomes part of the radicand. Kaya ang tawag dito, nth root. Nth root. Okay? That must be nth root of a raised to m. Okay? So, ganyan yung itsura niya. Kaya kapag magkaroon ka ng isang inutusan kang i-rewrite ang a raised to 1/5, then your answer must be 5th root of a. 1 lang naman kasi itong numerator, raised to 1. So 5th root of a. Okay? Another rule is if you have a over b raised to m, this is m is equal to a raised to m over b should be b raised to m. But in this case, class, provided that b is not 0. Hindi siya pwede maging 0. Remember, kapag ang denominator natin ay 0, undefined yung number. Hindi siya pwede. Okay? What else? Ano yung rule? So, yeah. So, sino yun? Someone is raising his hand. Meron ba? Okay. Another is a raised to 1 is equal to a, provided that a is not 0. Okay, that is also another rule. Also, a raised to 0 is simply 1 provided that a is not 0. Because 0 raised to 0 class is undefined and 0 raised to 1 is 0. Okay? So yung dalawang rules na ito yung madalas na pinagpapalit eh. Kasi kapag magsusolve ka, halimbawa, what is 2 raised to 0 plus 3 raised to 0 plus 4 raised to 0? Your answer must be 1 plus 1 plus 1. That must be 3. Okay? However, yes, tama, James. And however, if you have, let's say, 1/2 raised to 1, siyempre ito naman yung 2 raised to 1, then your answer must be 2 and 1/2, or 5/2 in the proper fraction, or 2.5 in decimal. Okay, so as quick as that, a simple recall on the laws of exponents. And I guess we're now ready to solve, we're now ready to get the dun muna tayo sa domain and range ng isang exponential function. But a quick review on exponential function, tandaan ulit natin, masasabi mo lang na isa siyang exponential function if and only if, okay? A function is an exponential if and only if, okay? If you have f of x is equal to b raised to x, b should not be any negative number, so it should be greater than 0, but not 1. Should be greater than 0, but not 1. Okay? So kapag ano yung mga madalas na example may exponential, y is equal to 2 raised to x. Why? It is exponential because the base is 2. And pasok siya sa sinasabi ng condition, right? Base should be positive number, however, it should not be 1. Another, y is equal to 0.003 raised to x plus 1 is also an exponential function. Okay? So kailan natin ma-violate yan? Number 3, y is equal to negative 6 raised to x plus 2. Kapansin-pansin na nandun si negative 6, and what does the rule says? Because you have negative 6, and the rule says your b must be greater than 0 but not 1. And so this is not an exponential function. This is not an exponential function. Okay? So I guess na-introduce naman yan ng teacher nyo, yung mga paano kumilala no, ng exponential functions. And so, let's move to finding the domain and range of exponential functions. In solving for the domain, solving for the range, and so with the horizontal asymptotes class, these are just some of the basic properties of exponential functions. No, we don't deal much on the deeper sense kasi when we talk more on graphs, we analyze more on graphs, papunta na tayo sa calculus, no? So in this case, we're just focusing on some of the basics, no, the properties. So let's go directly to the domain and range of exponential functions. Domain is the set of all inputs. Siya ang nag-organize ng lahat ng pwede mong gamitin na inputs. Kung hindi pasok dun sa rule niya, ay hindi pwedeng gamitin. Yun ang sinasabi ng domain, right? For an exponential function class, pwede sa kanya lahat. Walang bawal. So if I place positive here, that's okay. If I don't place positive there, it is still okay. Kaso, why do I say so? Bakit walang pinagbabawal sa exponential? Sa exponential, base should be greater than 0 and base should not be 1, right? So, ibig sabihin, dalawa ang kanyang posibilidad. Base is less than 1, greater 0, or base greater than 1. These two cases will again satisfy. Can you just imagine a base when you raise it to 1 million? To negative 1 million? Do you think that is undefined? Do you think that will be a number that is not recognized as a real number? Actually, that is a real number. Kasi in the rule of negative exponent, this can be written into 1 over 2, and turn negative 1 million into positive 1 million. So you see, kaya sabi ni Domain, ano man ang value ng x na gusto mong i-substitute sa exponential ay tatanggapin mo. Okay? Imagine mo, 2 raised to 0 is already 1. However, class, for range, si range magva-vary. Ibig sabihin, kikilatisin niya muna. Kailangan mo munang ipakita daw, okay, the behavior. What does the behavior tells you? Mag-open ako ng GeoGebra. Okay? In the GeoGebra class, mag-graph tayo. Y is equal, fast graph lang ito para makita niyo. Y is equal to 2 raised to x. Ito yung graph ni y equals 2 raised to x. Kapansin-pansin na paakyat siya, no? And it is infinitely increasing. However, what if I'm going to graph y is equal to, from 2 raised to x, ginawa kong negative 2 raised to x. Ano ang napansin natin? Bumaba. Okay. Pero, huwag kang malito, class, kasi even if the base is greater than 0, b is not equal to 1, that remains to be true. That remains to be true. Pero, pag nakita mo ang negative 3 raised to x, huwag mong sabihin na hindi ito exponential. Class, exponential yan. Kasi ang ibig sabihin nito, this is also negative of 3 raised to x. So you see, 3 is still there and it's still greater than 1. Ang hindi exponential ay yung i-enclose mo si negative 3, then erase mo sa x. Negative 3 is not part. This cannot be an exponential function. Okay? I hope I'm making it clear. So I will now erase this. Going back to the graph, okay? Yung graph kasi pinapakita niya na, wait lang. Yung graph, okay, pinapakita niya na kapag positive, no, positive 2 raised to x, ay paakyat ang graph. Ngunit, pag nilagyan mo ng negative of 2 raised to x, bababa ang graph. At anong kinalaman nito sa pag-identify ng domain at range? So ano ang naging kinalaman niya? So we now have these rules. No? So let me present you the rules. In solving include now solving the horizontal asymptotes. No? Meron pa tayong tinatawag na horizontal asymptotes ang isang exponential functions. Okay? So, kapag ang y or exponential function is b raised to x plus c, y is equal to b raised to x minus c, b raised to x, wait lang. Y is equal to negative b raised to x plus c. Y also is negative b raised to x minus c. Okay? If it happens na nakita mo yung ganyang pattern dun sa sinusolve mo, no? Ang magiging result nito is ang range. So ang range nito, no? Kapag nakita natin na positive b ito, positive b raised to x, paakyat ang values ng y. So it is greater than c. Dito naman, it is greater than negative c, where c is any constant. But however, if you see negative sign here, pabaliktad naman siya. It is decreasing. Less than c, and in here, no, less than negative c. That is how we identify the range, but later let's have examples. The horizontal asymptote now, okay, isa siyang line. It is a horizontal line that serves as the boundary of the graph. kunin natin yung constant na c, y is equal to c. Y is equal to negative c. Y is equal to c and y is equal to negative c. Okay? So yan yung sinasabi ng rule. Ngayon, kapag i-apply na natin siya gamit well, yung may example nga na function, kapansin-pansin ang mabilis sa pag-solve sa kanyang range and horizontal asymptote. For example, y is equal to 3 raised to x minus 4. And you see here that the constant is negative. Negative 4 is the constant, right? And we notice as well that this is positive 3 raised to x. We don't see any negative symbol. This means that if you're going to solve for the range of this, then you will use the first rule. Get the constant negative 4 and then increase infinitely. Okay? Yan ang sinasabi nitong range and under that rule. Unang rule. Sa horizontal asymptote naman, kunin mo yung constant negative 4, equate mo sa y. So y is equal to negative 4. Okay? So ganun natin nakuha ang horizontal asymptote and the range. Okay? And what about if pabaliktad naman? Paano kapag meron tayong y is equal to 6 minus 5 raised to x? So in this case, class, ang mangyayari naman dito, dahil nakita mo ang negative symbol, negative of 5 raised to x, meaning to say, pababa na siya. And then that is less than 6. So ang horizontal asymptote nito, kunin mo ang constant na 6, equate mo lang sa y. So y is equal to 6. Warning, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ang 6 lang. Hindi mo rin naman pwedeng sabihin na y lang. It should be y equals 6. So in first example, we have positive 3 raised to x. The second one is negative of 5 raised to x. So I guess it's your turn. May you please identify what is the range and the horizontal asymptote of y is equal to 0.002 raised to x plus 1. And the second, y is equal to 6 minus, bakit 6 na naman ang ginamit ko? I'll change that. Y is equal to negative 2 minus 7 raised to x plus 1. Okay. May you please answer number 3 and number 4 in just like 15 seconds? Think so? Kapag hindi nyo nasagutan in 15 seconds, sagutan na natin kaagad-agad. So just comment your answers. Feel free to comment your answers even if that's wrong or that's correct. Anyway, it's part of your practice. Okay? So comment your answers. In 20 seconds, we will answer this too. Okay, so sagutan na natin. And to be able to answer it correctly, just observe first. No? Kailangan natin obserbahan muna kung ano ang behavior, no, ng bawat uh, term na makikita natin yung exponential. So here in number 3, we can see here that the constant is 1. So the horizontal asymptote is get 1 equate to y. Y is equal to 1. Second, the range for number 3, range, we can see here it is positive, no? We don't see any negative symbol. And we start from 1 and then we increase infinitely. I don't mean we start from 1, I mean greater than 1. Okay? Mapapansin nyo na hindi tayo gumagamit ng bracket. We always use no parentheses in this case. In number 4, the horizontal asymptote is get the constant equate to y, and the constant is -2. Y is equal to -2. However, when it comes to the range, no, on the other side, range is the set of all real numbers less than -2. Reason? Because we can see here a negative symbol. Yang si minus na yan ay ibig sabihin negative of 7 raised to x plus 1. Okay? Yeah, I can see comments. Mukhang kayang-kaya nyo. Actually, ang range ng exponential function ay isa sa pinakamabilis ma-solve sa lahat ng functions. Kasi tignan mo lang naman daw ang term na nandoon, ang exponential term. And then, if that is positive, mag-increase siya infinitely. If that is negative, mag-decrease siya infinitely. And titignan mo yung constant, insert mo lang yung constant. Yan, we got the answer. Okay? And another example before we move, number 5. Let's say y is equal to 0, negative 0.003 raised to x minus 0.01. So pag ganito naman ang given at kapansin-pansin yung negative sign, the negative symbol indicates that the range infinitely decreases and that is less than negative 0.01. Okay? Because of this symbol, negative. And so the horizontal asymptote now is y equals negative of 0.01. So I hope that's clear. Can you give me a raise hand button reaction if you find it okay? And so that we will move to the equations as quick as possible. So I'm receiving more than 50 reactions. So let's now proceed next.